What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dear Modern Stylist, the podcast. I'm your host, DOPEaxxPANA, and I started this podcast in hopes of creating a space where clients and stylists can come together and talk about pricing, professionalism, and how we present ourselves in the industry. Today, I have two of y'all favorite guests. We had an episode that we recorded not too long ago where we kind of reacted to some of the TikTok hair horror stories, and you guys really, really loved it, so we're going to bring it back. I picked these two guests because I feel like it's just a perfect balance, a little bit of spicy and a little bit of professionalism. So first we have you guys' fastest TikTok braider, favorite TikTok braider, the Don.
Hi.
The Don Dizzle. Shout out to Wife Snatcher Donald. And we also have my cousin Monique. She is a part-time braider. They're actually both my assistants. And yeah, you know, she's a older lady, as she likes to say.
Yes, indeed.
So this is a great balance, y'all. So
I mean, y'all both was born in the 1900s. So
anyways, Anna, goodbye.
okay, so we got to have a YN on the panel because we need that little opinion where a little bit of don't give a fuck. And yeah,
It's a good mix. It's a good mix. Mix it up.
It's a good mix. So y'all, we recently have been watching a couple TikTok hair horror stories. Honestly, I'm like in the middle where like I'm kind of tired of people sharing their experiences, but also I feel like some stylists do need to be called out. So y'all tired of them or y'all loving to see?
I'm tired of them. One, y'all don't know how to articulate. Two, it's just like, it's comprehension to me. It's just common sense. And yeah, I just can't. Y'all complain about everything, but never drop the stylist.
Yeah, that is one of my pet peeves when they come and be like, I want to tell this story, but I don't want to say who they are. Or when they start and say, I'm not really one to bash people, but you're making this video. So you are one to do it. You just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, no, I'm not sick of it. I like people telling their stories. It's just get to the point. Like, I don't want to hear that you had to stop for breakfast. I don't want to hear that you had to stop at a red light for extra long because the sensor wasn't working. Like, get to the point of the story. So
You be watching in 2x speed?
I don't, because I'm an older lady and I didn't even know that was a thing. Don't judge me, y'all.
You didn't know you could press and hold?
No, I just learned that this morning watching you do it. I'm like, how the heck is it going so dang fast? But it's cool though, because now I know. I can watch y'all video and listen to the whole thing.
Because it be the and then when y'all show how they mess y'all hair up or how they did y'all hair, it's like, baby, they couldn't do hair from the jump. You should have knew that. You could feel when
it could have been a
somebody
bad
can't do
day.
hair.
It could be a bad day. Sometimes I do think in my head, like, I remember I seen one story and she was like, yeah, I put on my story, I need somebody to do my hair. And this girl scammed me. She reached out and said me. It's like, first of all, why are you, bitch, you're not Beyonce. Why are you posting, I need somebody to do my hair, just thinking that us as hairstylists is going to jump up? You should have known the scammer was finna be in your DMs.
It's scammers all the way around, just like this AI. I don't know what to trust, who to trust. Because you could put anything on the internet and anybody could respond and it could be a robot.
Yes.
So you've got to be very careful with what you're asking for.
Well, I'm going to say it's been kind of like, I don't know, some of these hair stories I'm just a little weary about because I feel like it's a new trend on social media. You know, you post your hair video, you know, you going viral. You know, you could do a part 1, part 2, part 3 and make a little check off of TikTok. So now it's kind of like, did you really have a bad experience? Right. Or are you just looking for
That's why I say it's clickbait. And then my thing is this too, like, yeah, people are putting a lot of stories out there. And like you said, is it really something that you're trying to put out there as far as for like a real review, or are you trying to get your own reviews? Mm-hmm. But then in a minute, it's going to be like everybody going to be trying to be on TikTok. It ain't going to be enough money to go around.
I don't know. TikTok is pretty, I don't know.
Good.
Okay.
We shall see.
You got something to say?
Often to say, when they be trying to go viral and stuff, it be like, you going viral, but you don't even have enough followers to get paid. And then it's like, everybody in your comments is like either on your side or not on your side.
Yeah.
True.
So it's just like, I don't know.
Okay, well, we're going to discuss maybe like 2 or 3 hair videos that we have recently seen circulating. And all of these have pretty much gotten traction on TikTok. And so, yeah, if you guys like this series, make sure you guys let us know down below. And also, you guys can always send us any type of hair stories that you guys see to react to, because I don't know, it's fun.
We love talking about it, y'all. We do.
It's fun. All right, so our first one, we are coming straight out of Atlanta, okay? I'm going to insert a couple clips for you guys, but I'm going to just break it down so we know what we're talking about. All right, so in Atlanta, this girl books a French curl bob, and she made a video. Obviously, she wasn't happy with the way that her appointment went, and she pretty much broke down everything that she felt that the stylist did wrong.
I got my hair braided yesterday, and it just reminded me why I never get my hair braided. So let me tell you what happened. My appointment's at 8 o'clock. I get a hey boo text around 7:30 asking to reschedule to 8:30. Cool, whatever. I expected that, honestly. Pull up at 8:30. She pulls up in a sports bra, a robe, some sweatpants, and some slippers. Cool. Anyways, pull up. It's in a little like hair studio, whatever. She gets started. Not a single word from her. Not a single word from her. When she first greeted me at the door, I said hi first. She said hi, good morning. Nothing else after that. No conversation, nothing. Silence. I'm like, cool, whatever. She starts. This much gel for one section of hair. Doing like this on my scalp. Slathering that shit. Copious amounts of gel. And I'm pretty sure the gel she used is made for like, fucking retwist for like locks. Cause it smelled like manly. It smells like cologne. It smells like a masculine scent. And she put so much that's all my hair smells like. Cool. Around halfway through the appointment, her friends start coming in. It's like other girls that work at the studio, I'm assuming. Come in, I'm seated right here. She's behind me doing my hair. Her friends are two friends came in. Her friends were sitting right in front of me. Her friends don't greet me, of course. Cool. So I'm just sandwiched in this conversation that I do not want to be in. What's the conversations about? Oh, you should be charging more. Oh, I want to charge more, but my clients are broke. I want to charge $900 for a house call. Oh, I don't really like doing this anymore. I kind of want to do something else. I don't like doing hair anymore. I'm like, cool. I'm just there like, type shift. Anyway, she gets to cutting this part off. Because these are French curls. The hair comes long. And I wanted a bob. So she starts cutting it off. Genuinely, this is how she went to cut off my hair. These are scissors. She's doing like this, like in front of my face, like this. Like what? Like what? Like there's no reason for scissors to be this close to my face. I thought this young woman was about to gouge my eyes out. Cool. She finishes. I go home. I'm chilling at my house. I click on her story because she posts pictures. Because she took pictures of me, so I'm expecting for my pictures to be posted, all right? She posted my picture, all right? Then, right after, she says, I really like doing French curl bob braids, but y'all people with line manes need to... Something about girls having line manes should not be able to... She doesn't want to do that. She doesn't like doing girls with thick hairs, French curl bob braids. I'm sorry. That's what sent me over the edge. I can't control that. 1, 2, you're a hairstylist. You should be expected to do every single hair type under the sun. Fuck. I already had to blow my own shit out. You didn't even blow my hair out. I had to do that at home. Girl. These were about $300, by the way. $300. I think they were around $275. I left about a $10 tip. Because I'm a cuck and I can't leave a service provider without sending a fucking tip, even though she fucking pissed me the fuck off. Now, mind you, her studio was not clean. There was shit on the floor, there was shit on the shelves, there was shit in her workspace. It was not cute. And I'm not going to tag her because as a service provider, I know what it's like. Having a video like this made about me would be my worst nightmare. I'm gonna be honest. And then secondly, I don't know if this is her only stream of income. It might be. I know it's hard out here. I'm not gonna do that to her. Because she does good work.
So I'm going to give you guys a list of all of the things that she said went wrong. Her appointment was at 8 a.m. Her stylist texted her around 7:15 and asked her if she could come at 8:30.
Which I feel like that's a 45-minute grace period. So that was good.
Like, you mean the stylist gave her 45 minutes?
Gave her 45 minutes.
Okay,
yeah.
but her original appointment was at 8. So what if she needed it at that time?
Well,
No.
that's the time for her to speak up.
But when I watched the Stylist video, she was like she be doing hair 10, 12 hours. And
Okay, let me get there. Let me finish this. Okay. So these are all of the client's complaints. Okay. So first, her appointment was rescheduled the day of in the morning. Second, the stylist showed up. She had on pajamas and slippers when she came in. So she's already like, okay, this is super unprofessional. She said that outside of saying pretty much good morning or greeting, the hairstylist didn't speak to her. When she sat down to get her hair done, it was no more conversation outside of a hi, hello. Mm-hmm. She said that the stylist used hella gel, slapped hella gel, hella thick on her hair, and the gel smelled like cologne, which already tells me that it was probably the Bratz. You know, her line smells like cologne.
Or it was
Definitely
probably
smells
that
like
damn
cologne.
All Day Locks orange braid gel.
Yeah, both of them smell very manly.
Very manly.
Then she said the stylist friends came in. They was kiki haha and having a conversation that she didn't want to be a part of. And basically the stylist was calling her clients broke, saying that she should be charging $900 and complaining that she don't like to do hair and don't want to do hair anymore. Then she said that when the stylist was cutting her bob, right, which looked fine, by the way. I think the bob looked good. When the stylist was cutting the bob, she said she was cutting towards her face, almost gouged her eyes out. She said the stylist immediately posted her pictures after the appointment and then proceeded to say, I love doing French curl bobs, but where the bald-headed clients at? Like, y'all basically got lion's manes, right? So she was like, you should want to do everybody's hair no matter the texture, okay? Stylist was kikiing about her on Instagram. Then she said she was irritated because she didn't get a wash and blow dry. She had to pay $300 for the bob. And through all that, everything she went through, she tipped $10. Okay, so before we get into what the stylist responded, I'm going to just say this girl's story time actually annoyed the fuck out of me.
Very much
for
so.
real.
It's the theatrics
she was
like,
very dramatic.
I mean, I guess like you're entertaining. I get that you're entertaining, but the theatrics was kind of annoying to me. And again, like I said in the beginning, I also don't like when people say, because she's a service provider. I went on a little deep dive. I think she makes cakes. I seen her post a little bit of cakes and they look bomb. She was saying as a service provider, she didn't want to get on the internet and say this about this girl because, you know, she doesn't want to bring down her business, but it's like you did. So that disclaimer doesn't need to be said, because if I'm telling you I'm not the type to get online and do this, okay, but I'm on the line doing it, so you are the type.
Exactly, and it's kind of like telephone, like the old school. You listen, you tell somebody else, they gonna tell somebody else, they gonna tell somebody else. So eventually, whether you name drop or not, that person is gonna be out there.
Yes,
based upon
and the
what
story
you said.
Never be what you said.
Exactly.
Yes,
because it's gonna be mixed around and twisted around.
Go, Donald.
Because what really irritated me was like she was just doing the most, and then I'm like, I literally had to come back and watch the video like twice. Literally, I tried to get the first 2 times. I got to it halfway. Then I was just like, let me put it in 2x. Maybe I could just watch it then. Then when she got to the part where when she was talking about the scissors, I'm just like, you over exaggerating now.
Well, let's jump back to the beginning real quick, where her appointment was at 8 a.m. Mm-hmm. The stylist texts you at 7:15 to see that if you could push your appointment 30 minutes later. That's 45 minutes. Now, I'm not saying take the entire 45 minutes to decide if you can wait 30 extra minutes to get your hair done or not, but that is ample enough time to say, yes, I can, or no, I cannot. So when you decided that you were okay with the late arrival, why do you have so much to complain about?
Yeah, and see, that's my thing. I feel like people need to really learn how to speak up for themselves. And it's not, a lot of people say, well, people aren't confrontational. It's not even about being confrontational. Like, if you needed that extra 30 minutes and you couldn't do it, that would be the time for you to properly express yourself, because even the stylist mentioned that she asked. It's not like she was like, oh, you got to come at 8:30. Like she said, would it be okay to push the appointment back? It's like, you need to speak up, and we're human. Like, things happen. It is unprofessional. Like, if you book an appointment and now we're changing it the day of, I do understand that. I have had to do it before, but like, things happen. Sometimes there's traffic. Sometimes like I wake up and like, oh shit, my babysitter is running late. You know, there's things that happen. So that would be your time to speak up and say, hey, like, you know, I'm actually on a time constraint today. Like, would you still be able to show up at 8 as originally scheduled?
Right. This was the hey boo one, right? When she was like, she
said
responded.
It was a hey boo. She said she got a hey boo text in the morning, but
okay.
It's not, a
and
hey boo text is more so a cancellation to me.
No, for real. That's a cancellation. it's a
It could be a
cancellation.
cancellation, but also too, it's just kind of like, what do you want me to say? Good morning, ma'am. I was just wondering if you could, push your appointment later. The way she said it, I feel like it was warming, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It was very warming because it's like, I want you to be comfortable. I want to be comfortable with you. That's just like us saying, hey, boo, such and such and such.
Yes.
Now, if you didn't like that, immediately you should have been like, nope, I ain't coming, or no, I cannot. Like the lady said, if you couldn't do it, then I would have made myself available to be there at the time that we originally scheduled.
Yes.
So please don't go off of the people's words that they use, because people use their text messages and read them in their own tone.
But I will say, as a service provider, that's why I try to stay away from saying stuff like, hey, boo, hey, sis. Like, I feel like there is like a professional way to speak to clients, especially people you don't know. Because first of all, I'm not your boo. Like, so if you text me, hey, boo, like, it's just a little too casual for me. Like, when I send out any type of text message, I address people by their name. Hey, Torin. Hey, Monique. Hey, Donald. Like, your appointment is scheduled for this, Now, if we hella cool, that might be something different. But if she's never been to her before, I don't even think the stylist said boo, but it's just like, a hey, boo text is like a thing.
Yeah, true.
But
it's
boo,
a level of
sis,
professionalism.
Sweetie, honey, all of that. Like,
what if that's the person's personality, though?
It could be. I'm just saying what I do.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
I don't
text
do
messages
it.
can be interpreted different. Like,
exactly.
hey, boo.
Like
it's kind of like, bitch, I'm not your boo.
Like, I don't know you.
But it also could be like, when you arguing with somebody and you're like, no, sweetheart. It's like,
that's
okay.
me all day. That's me all day. That's my sarcastic way of being nice, nasty.
No, but see, people will interpret it
differently.
differently.
They interpret
okay,
differently,
really quickly before we move on, let's get into the stylist response so that when we're explaining, people can understand. So the stylist made a response video, y'all.
Good morning, guys. I'm on here to address a video that was made about me yesterday. Before I start, anything that I say in this video has already been pre-discussed with the client, but I just wanted to clear up everything that was said in the video. So the first thing that was addressed in the video was me texting her in the morning and asked her to come at 8:30. I woke up, I think at like 7 on the dot, or like 7:15ish, and I texted her and I said, good morning. Can you please come at 8:30? I'll insert a screenshot. I asked her if she could come at 8:30 because I was genuinely like extremely exhausted. I have a filter on because you can even see it in my face. I work a lot. I work 6 days a week, 10 to 12 hours a day. I'm always tired. But I do understand that if you set your appointment at a certain time, then that is your time slot, which is why I asked instead of like stating like, oh, you need to come at 8:30, because if she would have told me like, can we please stick with the original time, then that would have been fine. But once I texted her, I noticed I didn't get a response within the first couple of minutes, and I didn't want it to get too close to her appointment time, so I called her. And I asked her if she'd come at 8:30, and she said, yes, that's fine. I understand if she felt like me asking her to come at 8:30 was unprofessional. I can take that and I can accept that. But I don't like the fact that it was portrayed as a hey boo text, because it wasn't that at all. And if in turn she had told me she wanted to still come at 8 a.m., I literally would have got my behind up and made sure I made it here at 8 a.m. So the next thing that was said in the video was that I showed up in a sports bra, sweatpants, and a robe. You guys, this is what I had on. So this is obviously not a robe. I'm not sure why that was said, but it kept cutting off. But so yeah, this is obviously not a robe. It's actually my favorite sweater, but due to this video, I no longer even want to wear it to work. I never really thought I would have to explain why I dress the way I do, but I don't mind. The building that I work in is either extremely cold or extremely hot. There isn't really any in-betweens, and it's unsafe to have a space heater on in here all the time because it's just, like a whole thing in the building. So I dress the way that I do to make sure that I can ensure that I'm comfortable while I'm servicing my client. The temperatures change drastically, and we live in Atlanta, so it's like a if you know type thing. But yeah, it's very hard to gauge how to dress, and so I dress comfortable. For me, honestly, y'all, like there's really no other way for me to put it. I also experienced like extreme hot flashes while I'm braiding, and there has been multiple times where I've almost passed out. So I dress the way that I do in order for me to be able to take things off if I get too hot, and also put things back on if I get too cold. So one of the next things that was said was that once I initially told her good morning when she came in, I didn't speak to her after that. That is in fact true. So once she said good morning, we came in, I started her appointment. I didn't say much. I wasn't picking her out of all of my clients to just not speak to. This is something that happens very frequently, and I will tell you guys why. A lot of days I am extremely exhausted and tired, and I genuinely do not have it in me to have a conversation. Is this something that I can communicate to the client in order for them to not be confused or feel uncomfortable? Absolutely. I could absolutely say, hey, like, I don't want you to think I'm being rude or anything. I just genuinely do not have it in me to really hold a conversation right now. So that's my fault on my end. I should have said something. My intentions were never to make her uncomfortable at all. Like I said, this is something that is frequently done with other clients, and not once has anybody ever said that they were like uncomfortable with the silence or anything. But I do understand everybody is different. I can't remember if this was the next thing that was said right after, but she did mention, she said that I had friends in here that were like in her face, and I was complaining about not wanting to do hair anymore and about like charging $900 per client. Like she said, she didn't want to really be in the midst of that conversation. I 100% agree that you should govern your conversations around clients. And in that moment, I was venting to a fellow coworker. It was one person. It wasn't a group of people. It was one person who was in here for about maybe 7 to 10 minutes, and I was venting to her about my business. So as far as the $900 statement, because it was very vague in the video and it makes me sound crazy, this is what I actually said. I was telling her that I would like to get to a place where I can only do one client a day because of how exhausted I am now with the work schedule that I have put in place for myself. And I said the only way for me to be able to take one client a day and still like make what I make now would be to charge $900 per client. And of course, the next thing I said was, and that's unrealistic for me because the clientele I have, like, that's not, like, everybody has a certain clientele. She said in the video that I was calling my clients broke. I did not, in fact, call them broke. I didn't use the word broke. I said that $900 in my clientele, like, I can't charge my clientele $900. And that's just honesty. Because can I afford a $900 hairstyle? Yes. Would I want to pay that? No, not necessarily. So everything I said was like honest, but the way that it was portrayed in the video makes me seem like I was just like being a B word and like almost talking mess about my clients. And I promise I wasn't. Like I wouldn't even do that. Like, and especially in front of another client, like that just wouldn't make sense. But I do agree that I could have chose another time to vent instead of right there in front of my client, especially when me and her already weren't communicating. Like she already felt uncomfortable. So for that, I do apologize, and I did apologize to her for that in private. Okay, another thing that was said was the gel. I do agree that I do use a heavy amount of gel. But if at any time during the appointment, if she would have said like, hey, could you please use less? I promise y'all it would not have been an issue. Like, I wouldn't have got mad. I would have just said, yes, that's fine. And I would have been careful or cautious about the amount of gel that I was using on her head. Not once throughout the appointment did she ever say anything, and that was at least a 5 to 6 hour appointment. She also made a comment about when I got done doing her hair and when I was cutting it in the way that I was cutting it. Y'all, I would never, the way that it was said was I almost gouged her eyes out. That is insane. That actually is crazy. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. So for the boho French curl braids, I literally cut everyone's layers the same. And again, if at any point during that process, if she felt like I was maybe too close, even though I'm very careful and you have a different point of view, like if she seen me in front of her with scissors, but me as a stylist, opposite point of view, like she could see it closer than it actually is. And that's totally understandable. But if at any point, if she would have said like, hey, I feel like it's too close. So, I would have been very careful about the way that I was doing it. Honestly, a lot of things in that video were very exaggerated and some things were untrue. And I feel like it was all just literally like a calculated plot to tarnish my business. If I'm being honest, you guys, like she did have some valid points and I did apologize where I was wrong. But that whole video was extremely exaggerated. I promise that is not a true reflection of my character or who I am as a service provider as a whole. The last thing that I would like to address, which I feel like honestly sparked this whole TikTok, was the post that I made on my page. So I posted her hair and then I made a post and I was like, I want to do more French curl bobs, but y'all have lion's manes. Where are the semi-bald headed clients at? I added a lot of emojis because I thought that that would be a clear indication that it was strictly banter and a joke. Most of my clients have a lot of hair, a lot of thick hair. And I understand that you cannot control how much hair you have, your length, your density. Like, I understand that. The post was not about her at all, y'all. I have been doing hair for years. I am much smarter than to make a post about somebody knowing that they're going to see it. And I literally just did her hair. But I do understand from her point of view how she could have thought that it was about her, so I do not fault her for that. The only thing is I feel like a text message could have been sent to me before any of this reached the internet, and I would have gladly explained and apologized for any and everything that she felt was wrong during her service. Because at the end of the day, you are paying me, and we're helping each other. I'm servicing you, and you are paying me, which is helping me to provide for my lifestyle. So again, you guys, I just wanted to clear everything up. I am not how that video made me look. I promise I am not, y'all. I have just been so tired that I know I can come off a certain way to my clients, and I'm sorry to anyone who may have felt even similar to how she did.
She took a lot of accountability, which I can appreciate. She said that the reason for the time change was because she's exhausted. She works 10 to 12-hour days like most braiders, and she woke up that morning and probably could have used the extra 30 minutes to sleep, so she asked for the time change, but she didn't tell her she had to. She asked. Mm-hmm. She also said that, well, she showed her outfit. It was like a cardigan and a crop top. She said that she dressed that way because she goes through hot flashes as she's braiding, so she likes to wear things that she can layer, take off, put back on. She said that she was not cutting towards her eyes and gouging her eyes out. It was dramatic. And it is two different point of views. Like if I'm sitting there and you're cutting layers, the scissors, it could appear that way. But she was saying I would never do that, which I mean, I believe because that would be dumb. She also said that she had one friend come in because the girl said she had multiple, a group of friends come in. She said she had one friend come in. She was kind of discussing like her being tired from braiding so much in her work hours. And so she stated that in order for her to only take one client a day, she would have to charge $900, which is not realistic with her clientele. She was not calling her clientele broke, as the client was saying. Lastly, she did take accountability for making the post about wanting bald-headed clients, but she said she put hella emojis as like a little joke so people could be like, ha, 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 ha. And I personally do that too. Not saying it's right.
You do it.
Not saying it's right, but I personally do that too.
But it's a preference thing.
No, for real.
Yes.
It's definitely a preference thing, and I don't see anything wrong with that.
Okay, so I want to talk about really quickly about the conversation having people come in like, as a service provider or as a client, does that bother you guys when you're getting your service done and the stylist friends come in and they kiki cackling and having a conversation in front of you?
No, because sometimes me personally, I'm nosy. I want to hear what you got to say.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear the tea. And me personally, I feel like when somebody come in and talk, it breaks the ice to see, like to have a conversation. Because sometimes when new clients be there, you don't want to just jump into real, just deep conversation because it's like, I don't know you, you don't know me. Mm-hmm. It's just like, so I'd rather have somebody come in and break the ice with me and then we can, move forward then.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, to me, it doesn't bother me either. It's more so reading the room. Mm-hmm. So if your friends do want to come in, by all means, this is your place of business. I can't control who comes in and who comes out. But know how to read the room, know how to read your friend, know how to read the person in the chair. We do it.
Yes,
we do
agree.
it all the time. You know what I'm saying? If it's a time where the energy is high, cool, let's kiki, let's ha-ha. As long as it's not stopping the person from finishing my hair in a timely fashion, I'm cool with it.
Yes, I agree with that. Some people cannot talk in style.
Can't walk and chew gum at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So as long as it's not prolonging my process, mm-hmm. let's get it. Let's key.
I agree. So I actually was having this conversation with Mo because one thing I told Mo is I've really personally had to start watching the conversations that I have in front of clients. So I was sharing a story with her that I had a client and I was doing some smaller braids on her. And I'm going to say this, and Donald, you could probably relate to this. Like, I'm a fast braider. So I feel like, if I'm doing like medium knotless or something, like I could bust it down in 2.5 hours. Most people can't do that. So I feel like if you've never come to me, it could be like, damn, she's like hella fast. Or it could be like, okay, is this bitch rushing my shit? Like, I'm not rushing, guys. I'm just honestly fast. I'm just fast, right? So I had a client and I was doing some smaller braids on her. And I was on the phone with my mom. My mom had called me. I talked to my mom every morning, left her. And I was having a conversation with my mom about how I was double booked for the day. I was like, oh shit, like 2 different clients text me. They're coming at the same time. Like, I got to try to figure this out, right? As I'm doing the client's hair. The solution was I texted one of the clients because she had been coming to me for a minute, and I ended up moving her to another day. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'm chilling. When I was done with my client, I had an hour before my next client came. So I'm like, cool, I got time to chill and sit now. Like, we're good, right? But the client obviously didn't know that was happening. She just heard my conversation with my mom about how I was double booked, and I was trying to figure out how I'm gonna get through the day, right? So about a week or 2 after the client's appointment, she reached out to me and was like, hey, like, you know, I know, like, I didn't want to have to say this to you, but like, I know you were rushing doing my hair because you were double booked for the day. That shit instantly irritated me. Because first of all, why are you in my mouth and in my conversation? And I wasn't rushing because I had an hour actually left after your appointment. So one of the complaints was like, oh, the braids were like different lengths. Like they were stopping at different lengths. And I'm like, if you had an issue, I would have loved for when you was looking in the mirror flipping your braids, you could have said something because I could have fixed it in that moment. I literally had an hour where I was literally sitting there.
Yeah.
And I felt like that's not no shit I'm gonna do. But I had to check myself as a stylist because it's like I had that conversation in front of her. So that was her interpretation. She was like, oh shit, she's double booked. So now she rushed my shit. So she probably went home and was already looking for shit. Like, oh, like, you know,
that was
my
her way
head,
of picking. Yeah.
So I really had to personally check myself about having conversations in front of clients because they can perceive it that way. Now, if going back to the story on TikTok, if the girl's friends came in and you talking about how you want to charge $900, but you can and you don't want to do hair no more, it just gives the vibe or the feeling that like, damn, bitch, you don't want to be here doing my shit. Like you want to charge $900, you can't because your client's broke, you know?
Yeah, but like the stylist said, she was like, if I was to do like one client of that, I would have to charge $900. Now I want to charge $900. And she said, but then she said, my clients just not like that.
It's not realistic.
It's not realistic to charge that much money to do. Yeah.
See, me, the type of person that I am, because I'm an older lady, if I was that girl sitting in that chair and I heard that stylist saying those things, I would be like, girl, because all those hours you work is absolutely diabolical. I would personally commend her for the amount of time that she takes to service people. And then I would have just made it like a whole joking thing. Like, girl, I feel you. Like, girl, charge, especially if she's good, because the hairstyle was cute, y'all.
It was
at
cute.
The end of it, it was cute.
I did not like that.
But
shit.
I would have
That
just
shit
made it
looked
into like a whole different type of conversation, opposed to trying to complain about something. Especially if, sweetheart, you sitting in the chair do not work as many hours as she does. You're not standing on your feet as long as she is. You're not using your hands as long as she's using her hands. Not to say that whatever she's done, that's her profession, doesn't take that amount of time. But girl, switch the vibe or the energy about that. Try to pick her up opposed to bringing her down. She's already hella tired. So pick it up. That's what I would do. Like, girl, I commend you.
And then,
thank you. Or something.
Then you coming for her attire, baby. If I want to come in there in my birthday suit, I'm coming in there to do your hair.
Wait, did you actually see the outfit?
Yes.
It wasn't pajamas.
It wasn't
though.
pajamas,
like,
though.
And see, that's where like the story times get a little like annoying to me because it's like I feel like you're just trying to exaggerate to get like. It wasn't pajamas. Like, is it hella professional? Like, in me, so I will say like us outside of Donald, but Donald comes dressed nice. Like, Monique and I, we wear uniforms. Like, I have a Dope Collection shirt. I pretty much wear all black. Like, you know, I will say I have seen a lot of stylists online come dressed unprofessionally. Like, I personally probably would not wear a crop top. Well, one, because I'm bigger, but even at that age, like, I feel like there are outfits that are appropriate and not appropriate when we think in terms of professionalism. But looking at her outfit, like, it wasn't pajamas like she rolled out of bed.
It wasn't bad. It definitely wasn't giving a robe like she said.
The busted stylists do the best hair. So my thing is, I'm behind the chair all day. I'm sitting looking at 4 walls for hours on end, baby. I'm not worried about how I look. If my hair all over my head, it's just going to be all over my head. If I'm looking busted, I'm looking busted. You sitting in the chair, I'm making you look cute. So that's all you need to worry about.
That's very much true. That's very much true. But you also don't know who's going to come into your salon. You don't know who's coming into your place of business. You don't know who they bring in, and you really don't know who they are. They could be a millionaire or something. And then they coming in to get their hair done, and you got on your birthday suit, Donald. That could have blocked the blessing. But I am okay with people being comfortable, but be professionally comfortable. Because when we go back to the episode that you did about the older stylists and how they came up, everybody used to wear all black. And I know a lot of stylists now, older generation, of course, but they still wear all black. I think that should be a standard thing. If you don't have like your own line, like how you have your Dope Collection line and we wear the uniform, I think there should be a standard on how you should look as a professional. Now, your hair, that's your business. But as far as for your clothing, I think it should be a standard.
I think going back to that episode too, that was my episode with Fallon, and I'll go ahead and link that for those of you guys who are watching visually. But Fallon had talked about how as hairstylists or beauty professionals, we are like the leaders in the fashion industry, and it is very true. Like when you show up looking good, like people are supposed to come take advice from us. You hold yourself to a certain standard, you know, and I personally have been trying to look better going into the salon, like even just having my hair done. Just because like my salon suites, I feel like are more like, you guys know the area, the neighborhood.
It's more of a 5-star kind of
it's
deal.
more of a 5-star kind of experience. Like I don't want to be in there looking hella raggedy and stuff. But do I wear sweatpants and do I wear leggings? Yes. Like it's not like I look like I rolled out of bed, but
it's appropriate.
Yeah, I feel like you should come presentable to work, because you wouldn't roll in no other job, even if it's Home Depot in and out. Like we all have uniforms, so you can look the part. You know what I mean? But just to move this story along, the girl, the client, responded one more time, and she was taking down her hair, y'all.
I'm taking the cursed braids out. I get to this braid. You see those blonde highlights in there? That's my real hair. Those blonde highlights, that's my real hair. If you go down further, you'll see this is glued. This is glued with nail glue. All right? Usually, there's supposed to be a little bit of space so that your natural hair doesn't get glued in with nail glue. So, we don't need this. Why the fuck is my little blonde little streak of hair? Oh my god, I'm literally shaking. Why is my blonde streak of hair glued in with the braiding hair? You see how that's my real hair, guys? I know I'm not tripping. I know I'm not tripping. I know I'm not tripping, and that's why I'm trying not to. I'm watching what I say, because I don't want to talk about this girl or these braids ever again. Thank you. Also, big ups to her. Big ups to you, girl, for getting me 6 million views on my last video complaining about your ass, and 20K new baddies to follow my page. Thank you. I owe you my life. But you shouldn't be a hairstylist. Let me take that back. You shouldn't be a braider, because you're not a hairstylist. Because a hairstylist would have more respect for her clients than this. And my voice is shaking because I'm trying not to cry. But I'm about to have to cut off my fucking real hair because you don't know how to do your job. And I was feeling bad. I was genuinely feeling bad because people were dogpiling her. And I tried to keep her name out of it. I tried to keep her tag out of it. I blocked her photo so people wouldn't do too much. But now, sweetie, I don't give a flying fuck. I don't give a flying fuck. Because why? Ooh. But come on, guys, let's go cut my hair. So this is all acrylic nail glue. So let's cut that off. Sweet. All right, so now let's inspect. So if we inspect, we'll see that there was no gap between where my real hair and where the glue met. So now my real hair is stuck. See that short little, beautiful little blonde highlight that I got professionally done? Ah, you see that? Yeah, so that's my real hair. And for all of you that were saying I was being dramatic, now what? Wake up. You're being mistreated by your hairstylist. I demand better. Now. I'm over this. I'm not talking about this anymore. Because I was right. So now I'm going to unravel this, okay? And what we're going to see is we're going to see a nice little blunt cut, because I had to cut my real hair off with the
braided extension that was supposed to help me grow my hair out.
So she ended up nail gluing the tips of the client's hair into the braids. So she was taking it down. Now she fired up like, I don't give a fuck, right? So now she's pissed off. She says she would never go back. She ended up having to pretty much cut her hair because where the French curl bob was ending was her natural hair. Monique says she don't give a fuck. It's a
she
trip.
wear her braids behind her ear.
What does that mean?
If you know what, when black girls wear their braids behind their ear, you know what that means.
Wait, what does that mean?
It means you have palm colored friends.
Mostly.
Monique, have you ever tucked your braids like this?
Girl, I
behind
tuck
your
my
ear?
braids just when I'm talking to people. Like, yes.
Mm-mm.
Wow, that's cool though. It's cool. Now, the client was right when she said that when you're getting a style like that, you definitely are supposed to braid at least 1.5 inches or 1 inch past the person's hair.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I did not like the fact that she glued that girl's ends, but baby, that 1/2 inch piece of hair is a dead end anyway. If you don't just trim that off and stop tripping,
But
stop
my
it.
thing
Like,
is,
come on now. You don't need
why-
to trim when you get it out anyway.
No, for real. But my thing is, why are we using glue? Like, y'all don't
Nail
know how to
glue.
do a slip
A
knot?
slip knot.
Like,
Come on,
Okay,
Donald.
well, let me say something. I use glue personally for extra security, right? And in the client's comments, I do agree. You are supposed to braid past your client's natural hair. Somebody was saying, like, why are stylists even using nail glue? And I would love to explain this, okay? Because first of all, I would never use nail glue like close to my client's hair. I'm always braiding 1 inch past. And if you have a client with longer hair, I would tell them like, you're not going to be able to get a bob. Like it'll be this length. There's a way to do it because you would have to flip her hair up, but
That's a lot.
yeah. So I would tell them like it would have to stop here. But the reason why people use nail glue is because number one, it dries faster. French curl hair is very silky, right? It dries faster. It'll hold like without, you don't even have to tie a knot for real, but it'll hold and it dries clear. Y'all got to think hair glue is black.
Yeah.
That client's hair, her shit was like a brown. Maybe a 30 or something. Like
4.
I can't, 4. I would have to like tie a knot, put hair glue, tie over the knot. Like
That's extra
you would be
work.
able to see it. And then on top of that, hair glue dries hella slow. Even though it says 30 seconds, nail glue, you put it on there, it's instant. Hair glue, you got to hold it in place. Now I got to sit with your braid in my finger. Can you tie a knot? Yes, but
Those knots slip.
those
That's why
knots
it's called a
slip out.
slip
Or like
knot.
sometimes you'll tie a knot and it's like it loosens, you
Yeah.
know, just a little
That's why
bit.
you tie it like 6 times.
Even 6 times, I don't. I mean, maybe
Sometimes
I'm doing something wrong.
No, sometimes if you tie it multiple times, but you have to know the amount of hair to slip it too. You can't use a thick old piece of hair to slip knot because that's for sure gonna slip.
That's for
So
sure.
if you do it with like a real thin piece and you do it multiple times, it'll hold. But I don't mind the whole nail glue thing. Just braid past the person's hair.
Also, you got to think French curl hair is super slippery. First of all, I hate French curl hair. I hate French curl hair, but I don't know if she used like French curl boho hair or if she used like the braiding hair. That hair is very slippery. So tying a knot and cutting it short is a little risky to me because you know that knot is gonna slip down, and then what? Now you're gonna be complaining that your shit was unraveling.
What I'm finna say, first of all, French curl braids is a red flag and a side eye just in general.
I thought that they were really cute. So in the video, I didn't really like how the client had it styled in her video where she was addressing her stylist. But the videos that the stylist posted,
Those were tea.
fire.
Those were tea. for
Tea.
sure.
And I feel like because I've been doing or trying to do bobs lately, like you actually really like doing braided boho bobs is
not
hard
easy.
because you have to tailor it to your client's face. It has to sit right. It can't just be blunt because then it's heavy at the bottom. You got to know how to cut. She did her big one.
Yeah, you got to know how to cut. You got to know how to feather hair because everybody's hair, you can't get no little short hair in a good quality for sure.
Yeah, she did her big one.
That is a very tedious job.
I guess like recently what's kind of been annoying me is, and I mentioned this in another podcast episode with Bree, is like when you think about service providers, like think about how many times you went to a restaurant, even like fast food, In-N-Out, McDonald's, and your order's been fucked up, but you went back.
You keep going
right?
back.
You keep going back. But it's like with a service provider, we'll make a mistake, you know, or maybe like we have an off day, you know, or there's been times when like I go into work and I'm trying to do the same exact shit and it's just like, it just ain't hitting like it usually does, you know. It's like, damn, we get absolutely no grace. We get no grace whatsoever. But it's like you'll give McDonald's, you'll give Texas Roadhouse, In-N-Out, multiple opportunities, multiple chances. And I'm not saying you got to go back, but like, damn, does everything need a story time?
Nope. And then sometimes, we tell people, I know for me, I tell people the style that you're asking for, I'm going to do my very best to get it, as close to what you're asking. But I'm going to tell you, I'm not either good at this or it's not going to look exactly like this. And I also like to explain to some of my clients, like, I have to do what's going to fit your head.
Yes.
Because you may be asking for a style with 20 braids in the front, but your front only is going to fit 10.
Yeah.
So understand that I'm going to do my best, but I told you in advance that it's not going to be exactly what you want.
Wait, so then what kills me, after all of this, after making her story time, why did she leave a $10 tip?
She thought she was being nice.
No,
she thought she was being nice.
Because you weren't that mad.
Yeah.
Until what? Maybe the Instagram post? You
Yeah,
weren't
absolutely.
that mad. Because why do y'all do that? Like, why do y'all tip even
And
when
honestly, I feel like she was doing it for clout because, baby, the way she was acting in that video was pissing me off.
Yeah, she was very dramatic.
I'm like, you definitely give
She was attention
seeking, clout chasing. You wanted a viral moment, so you got on there acting a fool.
She got that.
Wait,
and
so
I wonder if
last
she went
thing I
back.
want to address about this story. So she says that the stylist greeted her, and beyond that, she didn't say anything else to her. Now, the stylist said the reason why is because she was exhausted from working so many hours a day. So sometimes she doesn't have it in her to hold a conversation. And she said, maybe I could have communicated that with my client, but that's the reason why I didn't talk. So my question to y'all is, beyond a greeting, like a, hey, how are you? Go ahead and have a seat. Beyond a greeting, do you think that it's unprofessional for you not to hold a conversation with your client? And I just want to say this. For me personally, if I'm having a day, usually I'll tell my assistant, like, hey, you're going to have to talk today because I'm just not in it. Or I'll put on a show and we're just quiet watching the show. But, I might interject and say something here or there. It won't be dead silent, but that's my personal coping mechanism with that. What is you guys' thoughts on that? If a stylist doesn't talk to you the whole entire time?
Me personally, I talk in the beginning and then I cut music on and I just braid. I don't really like holding conversations. I'm not a big conversation holder. Like, I can start a conversation, but if you not continuing it, I'm just gonna be quiet. It's no shade. Like, when I'm braiding hair, like I try to talk like it's just your first time getting this style. How often you be getting braids? How did you find me? Things like that. Like, how long do you want your braids and stuff? And then if you like just giving me like one word answers and not really trying to have a conversation, I just cut music on and then I just continue to braid until I'm done.
Yeah, no, for me, always greet your person. Always greet them.
She greeted her?
Yeah. As far as for the conversation piece, I don't think it's unprofessional to not have a conversation. Read the vibe, read the energy. But there's also ways that you deliver, messages to your clients. So if I'm having a day and I don't feel like it, I'm going to straight up tell you, like, girl, I am very tired, but I'm going to try to get through this, as quick as I can. I'm going to do my best work on you. But yeah, I'm going to read the energy. Whether we put on a TV show, whether we listen to music, but if the client wants to talk, then I'm going to talk to them, because at the end of the day, it's about making them comfortable. You know what I mean? My answers may be very short, but I'm still going to engage. I'm still going to engage.
It definitely depends on the person. I will say, like, in our industry, customer service is really how you're going to retain clientele, because you could be good at what you do, but I'm not coming back if you don't have customer service. I went to a stylist in Oakland and she did not talk to me the entire time. And I was literally, I didn't like it. Like, it's like you feel like, bitch, do you have an attitude? But the same thing, like the girl said the client said in her video, her friends came in and you kiki cackling, and then when they leave, you're quiet again. It makes you feel as a client like you don't want to talk to me.
Yeah,
it's like an uncomfortable feeling. And she, same thing, like she greeted me and literally walked away. I had to damn near find out where her suite was, but literally walked away and didn't say nothing else the whole entire appointment. Like, damn, you can't ask me where I'm going, how I found you, like not even the basics. It's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, but some people, it's just like, I feel like it's the style. It plays a part on both, because it takes two to tango. So it's like, you as a client, you have to start a conversation, or if you feel like the stylist is not talking, you have to start the conversation. If they feel like they giving you like one word answers or not really trying to talk, then it's just like, okay, I'm just be quiet. But you can't expect somebody to start a conversation with you.
Oh no, but I did. I was like, so do you love doing hair? No. I was like, oh.
I would have been like, oh, okay, well, thank you for doing my hair. Like I try to switch it. Y'all. But then at the same time, like, yeah, don't be super silent and quiet and no energy with me. And then your friends come in and then now you just like hyped up or whatever. And then it's like, are you a light switch or something? Is this a lifeline? You going up and down and up and down. So now am I the problem? What's happening here? I wouldn't like that. I definitely wouldn't like that at all. And I probably wouldn't go back.
Okay, so to finish this off, the client complained that she paid $300. I feel like you complaining that you didn't get a wash and blow dry and you complaining that the style was $300, I feel like that has nothing to do with the stylist because you knew that when you booked your appointment. So mentioning that in a story is irrelevant to me unless she played in her head, which I don't feel like she did. It's irrelevant. You knew you wasn't getting a wash and blow dry and you knew that the style was $300 and you booked it. So complaining about that is out the window.
Tipped.
But do you guys think $300 is too much for a French curl bob?
No.
Or a bob style? I don't either.
No.
That style alone, like I said, is very tedious. And you have to make sure that it's as perfect as possible. Nothing is perfect, but you got to make sure it's perfect as possible. And that takes time.
And y'all got to stop thinking just because the style is shorter, it's going to be faster. It's never going to be that. We is literally back here trying to figure out how we're going to get this the same length, the same cut, how we is finna do this.
Why do boho bobs take the same amount of time as full length braids? I don't get that. I don't get why it takes the same amount of time.
I don't.
But also, I feel like
thing.
whenever you're doing specialty styles, and I mean specialty styles meaning things that like other stylists in your industry can't do. So for example, like if you were doing like K-tips, if you're doing a French curl bob or even a braided bob, if you're doing rope twist, Senegalese twist, like something like a specialty style, I feel like you can charge more because you can't go to the average braider or the average stylist and get that. So yes, baby, it's going to be more. And I feel like a French curl bob where that curl is not, I feel like a regular boho bob with hella curly hair, I could hide some shit in that. A French curl bob, that shit got to be right. Y'all feel like that?
It has to be right, yeah.
It's got to be right, sit right. Yeah, and the stylist, I will say she did her big one.
And you can't just, with a French curl bob, you can't just throw random size pieces of hair in there. You got to make sure it's all even and it's going to show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just feel like you charge what you charge. If you're going to pay it, be quiet and just pay it. If you don't want to pay that, go to somebody's kitchen. I don't know. Seriously. Seriously, don't complain about the price when you booked the style. You saw how much it was. You booked it, so don't complain because you knew that you were going to have to pay that at the end of the day.
Yeah, for real. I just want to say, to close this story out, and if you guys want to have any last thoughts on it too, I just want to like really commend the stylist because I feel like she came on and took a lot of accountability. The client had a lot of valid points about, punctuality or, having conversations in front of her. I'm not saying that what the client was saying was wrong, but I love that the stylist came on and took accountability because it's very hard. Donald, I already know how you will respond to a client story, but it's very hard to hear people say negative things about you and then be on the internet and like you got hundreds and thousands of comments because this video got like over 1 million views of people telling you you're unprofessional, you out of line, you played in her head. It's very hard to hear that. So for her to come on the internet and really take accountability for the situation and say like, look, it was this and this is why, I really commend her for that. And all you can do is receive that and move
learn
forward
from
and
it.
do better.
Exactly. Yeah, I commend her for sure for taking accountability.
I do too.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people don't do that.
Donald, what's the face for?
Because I would have been like,
because Donald don't give a damn. He don't.
I really don't sometimes, y'all. Because the video, first of all, if I was a stylist, I probably would have cussed her out. Because first of all, you getting on here, you're exaggerating the story. If you're going to tell the story, you're going to tell it right. Or don't tell it at all. Because when you dragging it, it wasn't even like that. Because me personally, I more so believe the stylist than the client.
Same.
Because she came, not only did she come on there and told full accountability, she came on there and she stated everything. And then I went back and watched her video and I was like, yeah, you're dragging it. It wasn't even that deep.
Yeah,
It'd
I
be
didn't feel
like
like
that
it was that deep
sometimes.
either. And so when she posted the video of her doing the takedown, she was like, thanks for the views, thanks for the clout, like thanks for the
that's what she
20,000
was
new
really
baddies.
trying to
That
get.
already told me your energy is weird as fuck.
That's what she was trying to get in the first place.
Yeah, and it's like you, in your initial video, you said you didn't want to break her down. You didn't want to tear down a business. Yet in
But
the
you
following
did.
video, now that you don't give a fuck, thanks for the 6 million views off your name. Thanks for the...
Right, and really quick, one more comment.
Ho, we not checking for you outside of this hair video. We not.
And then it's like, y'all were, mind you, they were in the comments dragging the stylist to the point she literally cut her comments off. Or limited her
she
comments.
did. She did cut them off.
And it was like, you did all that for what? I'm like,
She did all of that to get exactly what she mentioned at the end. Thanks for the views. Thanks for the extra followers. Because Bree, you had said she made 1 million videos with that hairstyle. So baby, you wasn't that mad. You just wanted your views and your money bag to go up or something. But
yeah.
And watch your videos go back to 200 to 300 views with 20K
That's what I
followers.
said. We're not checking for you outside the hair video.
Yeah.
You're not a hair influencer. We're not checking
Use
for
a
you.
one-hit wonder, boo. Enjoy it.
But good job to the stylist for taking accountability, for sure. Good job to the girl who made the video or whatever, because you got what you wanted, sweetheart. Kudos to you.
All right, moving along. We're going to the great city of Detroit. Okay. So this client, she booked a stylist in Detroit. She was taking a trip to Italy, so she got a flip over wand curled weave.
Okay, y'all, so story time on how y'all favorite little Detroit hairstylist, perfectionist __ or Simone or whatever y'all call her, played in my face with my hair. I get it if you've been to this girl and you've had an amazing experience. I get that you go to her page and you see nothing but good work. I get it, okay? That's cool, because I also went to her page, and that's the reason why I booked with her, because I thought that I was going to have a great experience as well. But what I will say is that from the outside looking in at the hairstyle, when she finished it initially, it looked good. Like, the wand curls were good, like, it styled pretty good. It was cute. I'm not going to knock it. So I never thought that the inside, the foundation, would look how it looks now. So, June 2nd, I booked with Perfectionist for a sew-in flip over with wand curls, right? The total was $240, which is cool. I paid my little $30 deposit, and then, it says the rest has to be paid in cash. Cool. So June 12th came, and I had, I was just double checking everything, because I'm like, dang, I think I read where she said that she wanted you to wash the bundles before, Usually I do wash my bundles, but since I was trying a new hair company, I was kind of on edge about washing them because I didn't want them to be messed up. And I knew that I was getting my hair done the day of my trip to Italy. So I'm like, I don't know. I might just want to risk not washing them. That's what I was thinking. But I text her about it. I'm like, so, hey, were you referring to basically, pre-used bundles, or just all bundles having to be washed and cleaned before, bringing them to you, whatever. And she never responded. So I gave her time, because I'm like, everybody busy. The next day, which was the 13th, I texted her again and was like, hey, this and that, the third. I'm just following up with the last message I sent you, because I realized that, you never responded. An hour go by, and I'm like, well, I'm getting pressed on time. So I go to her Instagram page, and I was going to DM her, and I see that she had posted on her Instagram page. So I'm just like, well, she's posting, so clearly, I don't know what the hold up is. So I couldn't DM her because she don't accept DMs for whatever, they not follow you, blah, 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 squeeze, all that BS. So I ended up having to comment on one of her pictures. Like, hey, I reached out to you twice regarding this and that, the third. Never got a response. I would, appreciate if you could respond back to me. Everything was respectful. So then she had finally responded and was like, hey, clean and dry hair, period. I don't like to install dirty hair. If you feel like it needs to be washed, then clean it. And she was using all these little punctuations, exclamation marks, all that. So I already felt like she was being disrespectful with that after I've been respectful. So, I just didn't say nothing back. I went ahead and washed my bundles and kept it pushing. Remind you, I had 4 bundles, okay? And that's going to play a part in this at the end. So cool. Now we're fast forwarding to June 17th, which is the day of my appointment. My appointment was scheduled for 10:30 a.m. I arrived at her shop at 10:30 a.m. and I see that she's not there. I text her at 10:31 a.m. like, hey, I'm at your suite. She responds back and say, hey, I ran into traffic. Sorry, my ETA is 10:40 a.m. So I just liked the message, and then she texts me in like 10:45 like, I'm ready for you. So she didn't start my hair till like 15-20 minutes after my scheduled appointment. So like, her being late, I wasn't really tripping about, but the point that you weren't going to communicate with me and tell me that you're going to be late until I text you at 10:30 and told you I was here is a red flag. Because at the end of the day, the moment you knew that you weren't going to be here at 10:30, you should have communicated that. But you didn't. So y'all, she starts my hair, and you know, she's doing it. So initially it said that it was going to take 3 hours and like 3 hours and something minutes, or something like 3 hours and 15 minutes, maybe, or something like that. 3 hours and 45 minutes, something like that it said in the confirmation. So I'm like, okay. So I knew I was supposed to be like done at least by like 2:15, 2:20, something in there. Given that she was already late, it pushed it back. But also throughout the appointment, because she did bring her child with her, so throughout the appointment she had to keep attending to her child, and you know, I was just keeping it calm throughout the whole thing. Like throughout the appointment, her child was like, it was points that her child was sitting on me, her child was in my lap, her child was just kind of like all over me throughout the appointment. Even if she directed her child not to be all over me, it just, you know, it didn't stop anything. So me just being me as a psychologist and stuff, I just chilled out because I'm just trying to, for one, get my hair done. And she was already taking a lot of breaks as was. And then also I was pressed on time. So mind y'all, she did not finish my hair until like 3 o'clock or 3:05 p.m. I was supposed to be out of there around like 2:15, 2:20, somewhere in there. She wanted to take pictures or whatever the case is. And so I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I even offered to tip her because, you know, I felt like it was cute. She told me like, you ain't got to tip me this and that third. So I didn't tip her. She took her pictures and I left. All right, so fast forward now. I am in Italy. It is Friday. So I've been in Italy from Tuesday to Friday. I have not like touched my hair, my curls or nothing like that. I just kind of let them fall because they were wine curled extra tight. And when they were falling, they were cute. So Friday was the day of a wedding that I had to attend. So I have to go in and rewind curl my hair now. So I realized that like my tracks are like loose and stuff. So I called my fiance and I'm like, you know, look at this and tell me how my tracks looking at the top and stuff like that. He like, you know, they're not really looking. He like, I don't know, but I don't think they looking how you probably want them to look. So I see like my tracks are loose. I'm in a rush, like I said, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to put it in a ponytail or something. Try to make, you know, make it work or whatever the case is for the wedding. It wouldn't work for a little ponytail at the top, like, you know, halfway, half up, half down type of thing, because the tracks on the side were very bulky. They wouldn't like kind of go smooth. And so that didn't work. So then when I tried to actually do like a flip over to, you know, the other side, for the most part, the tracks, like my hair really kept like falling back down to like the initial side it was on. So it's like, it really wasn't working. So I was just kind of forced to really wear it how it was like styled initially, for the most part. Similar, I should say. So cool, kept it put. So I already had made like a mental note in my head, like, you know, it's Italy, it's a time difference, I got a lot going on, got things to do, this and the third. The first thing I do when I land is I'm going to make sure I hit her up and let her know about my tracks. So that's what I didn't think that, oh yeah, me waiting a week was going to be like, oh, a problem at all. I didn't think. So when I got back, I literally hit her up when I was in the airport waiting on my check bag. Literally, my plane landed around 7:30. I was texting her around like 7:47, somewhere in there. You know, very respectful. I'm like, hey, hope all is well, blah, 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 squeeze. I even like acknowledged that I appreciated your work. Like, it was great and amazing, initially. And then I told her, like, you know, some of my tracks are very loose, or this, the third. Asked her, can we get something like worked out, you know, so we can fix the problem, because it's only been a week. And again, I paid $240. So she had responded and she was like, hey, she's like, you're literally the only client I've had that like basically told me this, and or whatever the case is. And then she was like, only thing I can do is tighten it up. I was not opposed to that, because that's really what I was asking for anyway, because I wanted my hair to last. I didn't pay for a sew-in for it not to last. That's why I got it. So I'm like, I responded back like, yeah, that's fine, you know. And I also acknowledged like, yeah, I've never had this problem with any hairstylist either. Like, I've never had like no track slip or anything like that. And you know, I wanted the hairstyle to last a little longer. And then I told her, I was like, well, basically I'm free tomorrow anytime, Friday anytime. So, you know, let me know what you have available. So she responded, telling me that she had like a 9 a.m. on Tuesday available. So I told her, I'm like, well, I kind of work from Monday, Thursday, you know, from 9 to 5, like a typical person. And I told her, I said, but I am available on Fridays. But then at that point, that's a whole nother week that I'm waiting to get my tracks tightened up. So I'm like, let me know if you're able to, like, you know, be flexible with this mishap. So, you know, she had stopped responding for a little minute, which was cool. So then I was in the car now, so I ended up recording a video, because I had felt like she got offended by me telling her like my tracks had slipped, because she started comparing me to everybody else. Oh, you're the only person, this and that, the third. So I felt like she was offended, and maybe she didn't think I was telling the truth or something. So I sent her a video of my tracks and how they were very loose and how a track was actually coming apart. You know, and then I also put at the bottom of that video, you know, of the video I sent her, like, you know, not to keep texting you this late, my apologies on that behalf. But this is a video of like the loose tracks and, you know, the one that's actually coming apart. I got no response. Again, so now we're playing the no response game. On my end, I got no response. So now it's the next day. And so I'm like, you know, I don't want to be coming off as this person, but, you know, I just want my hair fixed. So I'm looking in the mirror now, and I'm literally like trying to look at my tracks now. So I had my fiance come and record a video with more light, because as I mentioned before, I was in the car. So he came and recorded another video where I was, you know, showing like it a little more clearly. And so the next morning I sent her the new video and was like, good morning, this is actually a clearer video of, you know, the loose tracks and the ones that's coming. So she responded back and was like, I don't need to keep seeing videos of it, LOL. I told you it can be fixed 9 a.m. tomorrow. Now this is Thursday, correct? So 9 a.m. tomorrow is Friday. Mind y'all, she never said that. She said 9 a.m. Tuesday. So I said, like, you never said tomorrow at 9 a.m. You said Tuesday at 9 a.m. I said, however, Friday at 9 a.m. works perfectly fine for me. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Because, like I mentioned before, that was in my availability regardless. So, you know, I was perfectly fine with that. So at this point is where things started to take a turn for the worse, because she sends a screenshot of, I guess she sent some messages on her end, but they never delivered to me. And in the screenshot, it was like, basically she can fix it tomorrow or at 9 a.m. or something like that. She sent the screenshot, and she was like, at the top of her screenshot, she said, though, take your time and read again, boo. And then at the bottom of the screenshot, she sent another message and was like, I actually don't have that available anymore, sorry, with like this little emoji. So at that point, I took it as now she's being disrespectful and trying to be funny. And so I sent her a video of the whole message thread, because at first I sent the screenshot and said, well, I'm not sure if your messages aren't like delivering, because I'm genuinely like confused. I don't know if your messages are just not delivering. But then when she sent her other message, I'm like, I'm gonna send the whole video of the thread and say, you know, I took my time and I'll show you as well. Your messages never deliver, love. And that's exactly what I said, because now I feel like she's being disrespectful toward me, when in reality, all I'm trying to do is get my freaking hair fixed. So once she had sent, once I sent my end of my message thread or whatever, she just responded back, was like 9 a.m. tomorrow. I said, okay, 9 a.m. Friday, 9 a.m. is perfect, as I stated earlier. Thank you. And I was literally trying to leave it alone, because I'm like, I just want my hair done, y'all. So she then comes back and say, basically, you know what, I don't feel comfortable like fixing your hair, or I'm not fixing your hair anymore due to your attitude. Have a nice day. So when she said that, y'all, at first I was just like, okay, I'm leaving it on. I'm going to go investigate a little more in my head and see if it's something that, like, you know, my sister, something I can fix or something like that. But when I started to look more into how my hair was looking, no, that wasn't cool with me, because you literally played in my head at this point. And it's beyond the part of just the loose track.
So it starts out where she books a stylist, and she name dropped. I know Donald had mentioned in the podcast video, if you ain't name dropping, we don't want to hear about it. Oh, she dropped the name, baby. So that already tell me she's standing on big business.
And then what got me with her name drop, she said your favorite. And it's like, when you say favorite and you say Detroit, I'm thinking somebody that do cash doll hair or somebody like that. Don't say your favorite and we don't know them. We don't know them. Sorry, sis, we can't help you here.
Okay, so she books the hairstylist, and I guess the hairstylist had a policy where she wants the bundles washed. So the client reached out to the stylist through text. Hey, you know, she bought some new bundles that she had never used before, so she was weary about washing them, about the quality of them. So she reached out to the stylist several times and asked if she should actually wash the hair or if the stylist was only referring to old bundles. The stylist never responded. Basically, she didn't get a response until she went on the stylist's hair page and was like, hey, you know, under a post, I left you a couple messages. I would love if you could respond. The stylist finally responded after seeing that and was like, you know, all hair needs to be washed, period. If you think it's dirty, it needs to be washed or whatever. So the client was rubbed the wrong way because she said that the stylist was using some grammatical, some punctuation marks that came off as rude to her. So she's like, okay, already a little taken aback. She gets to her appointment. I believe her appointment was at 10:30, but anyway, the stylist was late. She texts the client texts the stylist at 10:30. Hey, I'm here at your suite. And the stylist let her know she was in a little bit of traffic and would be there at 10:40. She was ready for her at 10:45. So she was 15 minutes late.
I want to say this. Y'all be so mad when stylists don't communicate with y'all when they're late. But when stylists do communicate with y'all, y'all still be mad and y'all still got a problem. Which one is it? Do y'all want them to communicate or y'all don't?
Well, pause. She was upset because the appointment was at 10:30 and she reached out to the stylist saying, I'm here. The stylist then said she was in traffic and she was going to be late. The stylist knew before 10:30 she was going to be late.
Yeah.
She couldn't have texted her maybe 15 minutes before the appointment start time.
But sometimes you could be out the house on time, everything, and run into traffic.
But I'm saying you still know, though. No? Are you?
No, he's saying once you get on the road, you never know what's on the road.
Yeah.
You can look at your GPS and it'll tell you you're going to be here in 15 minutes. And depending on how you drive, you could be there in 10. But you get on that freeway, it could be an accident. You stuck now.
Yeah.
For real.
So then at that point,
for myself, most times I know when I'm gonna be late.
Yeah. So
I
at
try to
that
hit my
point,
client.
you should let the client know, like, okay, I ran into some unexpected traffic or something. But it's all about communication.
Okay. So she says during her appointment, the stylist had to bring her child. So the child is climbing all over her, sitting on her lap. She's a psychologist, so she not tripping. She like, first of all, not too much on my son. My son do be doing that. But the client is a psychologist. So she's like, okay, you know, like I just let it go. I went on with the appointment. After she's done, okay, she goes to Italy. She has a time. She didn't get in no water and didn't get in the pool though. Let's make that clear. She noticed that when she was going to style it, because it's a flip over, you should be able to style it either way. She couldn't flip it over. The hair wasn't laying right. And then she noticed that some of her tracks were loose at the top. So after her vacation, she reached out to the stylist and said, hey, you know, I noticed a couple of my tracks were loose or whatever. Is there anything that we could do about this? Do you have a policy in place for this? The stylist told her, like, you're the only person that's ever complained about, having something wrong with your hair. And I've been doing hair for 10 years. So, you know, I could tighten it for you. So she's like, okay, cool. They get into it about basically what time she could come. And the stylist ended up sending her a screenshot of some messages that she sent but never delivered and was like, read it again, boo.
Oh, no. See,
the client inserted pictures of her hair. That stylist played.
She played.
Loose tracks, gaps in between her tracks at the top. She pulled it back for a flip over. The track should be at your hairline. Braids showing. It got to a point where basically the stylist said that she didn't want to help her out. She didn't want to redo it because she didn't like the client's attitude, because the client had sent multiple videos of where her tracks were loose and missing, more so for clarification. Mm-hmm. But the stylist had told her, I don't need you to keep sending videos, LOL. Like, I could see, I could see it basically.
Ooh, that's why I am very picky on who I let in my hair. Like, so serious.
But first off, I want to say this. Looking at the videos and all, like, looking at it, when she got to really showing it, I'm just like, the stylist didn't know what the fuck she was doing, because it would look like she was just sewing shit anywhere she could sew it. And it was just like, I don't know. I was like, baby, you definitely got played in.
But how do we know that she really didn't do all the things she said she didn't do? How we know she didn't get in no water? How we know her hair don't grow like a wildflower and it just ended up growing out hella quick?
Baby, did you see them tracks? They were loose.
I ain't even gonna hold y'all because I just got a weave done, and the way that the girl sewed my tracks in,
it wasn't to your liking.
It wasn't.
Okay, so see, this is the issue that I have sometimes. For a lot of stylists, it's about the finished look and not about the foundation. And that's, I feel like, where you get an experienced and a good stylist versus somebody who like just knows how to do hair. Because I mean, I could glue some tracks on your head with a cap and it's a quick weave and the shit might look bust down. But like, as it gets older, like, is there a hump? Is my cap peeling off? And I mean, the same thing goes for braids. It's like, people do boho braids, you just throwing hella curls. Okay, is there lumps and bumps in my actual braid, or are we hiding it behind a nice finished look? Like, I feel like you can kind of see, or you can tell a good stylist or a great stylist or somebody who's just doing hair by like the longevity of the style. Like the client said in this video, your hair should last more than a week. Even if it's a sew-in mode, even if she gotten in the pool and in the water a week though.
A week is crazy.
One trip and you paid $300-$400.
Yeah.
And you getting held on by needle and thread, not glue.
Yeah.
But like, it looked like a beginner sew-in, like beginner, like this show damn near first time or second time doing this shit, because she was just over there just sewing shit like a motherfucking maniac. I was like, what the fuck is this? She had a horseshoe in there. Then it was tracks going like, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's why
this?
you said is a difference between people who actually know how to do hair for real and people that just do it. They do it for the finished look, but the foundation has to be more solid, I feel like, than the finished look, because you can fix the finished look in multiple different ways. But that foundation, you're going to have to start that all over again for it to be something that's going to last. For example, my weave that I just recently got, I feel like it should have stayed in way longer than it did. But once my hair started growing out, I saw the flaws. Now, don't get me wrong, the finished look was bomb, right? But now I know to stick with what I feel like the person may be really, really good at, opposed to something that I want. What I want, I'm going to have to go to somebody else that I know has a solid foundation for sure.
So that was actually the case with this client too, because she actually has a hairstylist, but she wanted this specific style. And so she was like, oh, I seen this girl. She's done people that I know. So she went to her. One thing that she mentioned, which I think is true, is the stylist kept saying like, oh, I've never had a complaint about this. And the stylist went so far as to make a poll on her Instagram and was like, have I ever done your hair before and your tracks was loose in a week? And the client in this video was saying, I don't give a fuck what you did to the other clients. Like, I'm telling you what my experience was, which is very true, because I don't care if I'm the first or if I'm the third. Like, if this is my experience, this is what my experience is. If you don't do it to other people, great for them, but you did it to me.
Right.
So,
but honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I would want to know as a stylist, like, if that did happen, I would want somebody, I would.
Well, so you think the stylist was posting it more so like, you think she was posting it to be petty, or you think she was posting it like, hey guys, just so I can improve, because Donald, she was posting it to be petty.
I don't think, me personally, I wouldn't post no shit like that to be petty. Now, if I know for a fact, like, bitch, every time I do hair, I never have a problem. I do your shit right, and I know what I'm doing, and I know like everything is on par, and that shit is fucked up, and you came and told me it's fucked up, bitch, you did something. That's like if I do your knotless braids. I've been doing knotless braids so long, bitch, I know how to do knotless braids with my fucking eyes closed. And you talking about your braids slipped out in the back. How the fuck it slip out and it started off with your real hair? You the fuck did that.
Yeah, I feel like people that ask those kind of questions are people that kind of know that they aren't really good at that particular style. So they seek validation from the outside. Like,
Well-
like, did I ever mess up on your shit? And it's like, you probably know that you did, but nobody came and told you. So now this is the opportunity for people to tell you publicly that, yeah, you didn't do the
let's
best
talk about
job.
this, because this actually happened in both story times.
Can I say this
Yeah,
one
go
thing?
ahead.
When she commented on the Stylist post, I couldn't help but to look at the picture, and the girl had the post she commented under had braids. So I'm trying to figure out, did you go to a person who specializes in weaves or a person who specializes in braids?
Mm-hmm.
So like I need to know, because if you go to her page, if she specializes in braids, baby, you should have knew then.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think about that. That is true, because the girl had like 2 boho braids or something. Well, okay, so what I was gonna say was, in both of the stories that we just talked about, the story times, do you guys think it's appropriate for a stylist to post about your experience after your appointment on Instagram? Do you think that's unprofessional? And let me explain that further. Like, let's say I do somebody's hair and it's hella chewed off in the back or something like that, and I'm like, guys, just a reiteration, like 4 inches all around. Like, I'm tired of y'all coming with hair hella short in the back where I have to pinch it. Like, I feel like doing shit like that as a client, like, because even the first client story with the boho bob, how she was like, I want the bald-headed clients, complaining about thick hair clients. Even though it's funny, I feel like it could make whatever that previous client was feel a type of way.
Yeah.
Y'all don't think?
Yeah, no, I definitely do.
I try to wait like a week or two if I have an experience, so that they don't know that it's directed at them.
Yeah, exactly.
But my thing is, like, the whole like 4 inches all around. Like, if somebody say it's 4 inches all around, your shit chewed off in the back, why is you coming?
Because they have faith in the stylist.
You obviously looking for a problem. You know the braids is.
Aren't you Mr. Gripper?
I am, but it's like when you know them braids is finna be falling off the bone after about 2 weeks. You know they finna be falling off.
Well, then at that point you need to tell them, I have a requirement. Unfortunately, the back of your neck is not at my standard or what I require. So if your braids happen to actually slip, I did let you know in my policy that it's a requirement that your hair is this long. So expect your shit to slip.
True.
Reading is fundamental, y'all.
And comprehension is too.
So this story time, I was actually on the client side, because I honestly feel like the stylist played, and I also don't feel like she really took accountability in the situation. Like, you trying to push me off and tell me like I'm the first person that ever complained in 2 years. First of all, it's 10 years. I'm sorry. It's just not realistic. Like, bitch, you've had a complaint. Maybe not about this, but you've had a complaint. But dang, I lost my train of thought. Oh, only thing I was going to say about the client is that initially with the whole bundles being washed, like, did she not have a policy online where you could read? Because it's like, there are times, and I still respond because I feel like I said, I'm really big on customer service. So even when you guys ask me questions that are on my booking site, I still respond. But to this day, I get a lot of clients who will reach out, is boho hair included? Literally right on my page, it says boho hair is included. Like, bitch, are you fucking reading? Like, the shit is annoying. And it's like, for you guys, you think you're just one person asking a question, but imagine 10 people a day. Like, you might be the 10th person to ask me, is boho hair included? Bitch, by the time I get to you, it's motherfucking included, bitch.
Yeah, no, straight up. Reading
you
is
just
for real. It's like,
bruh.
It's like sometimes I want to be like, bitch, can you read? Or are you dumb or are you dumb?
Yeah,
because,
when I went
like, why you just, it's like, you could have went to the website and like, well, let me check if it's included.
Some people don't know how to read though. They know how to see money signs and numbers, but they can't read.
That's why I told myself literally a week ago, my booking site is about to be 10 bullet points. Just the 10 most important things I need you to know, because they're going to ask further questions anyway. That's what I'm starting to realize. Wash and blow dry can be added on. Boho hair included. Location. Like, I'm going to literally have 10 bullet points. Beyond that, y'all going to text me anyway. So now just text me, because it's like, y'all don't want to read. I feel like TikTok has really fucked off people's like attention span. It's like, y'all don't want to read. Y'all couldn't even sit through a 3-minute story time. So just imagine people trying to read 3 paragraphs. Like, well, they don't want to read that shit. They skimming.
Yeah, get to the point.
It was 10 minutes and they were dragging the fuck out these story times. They were dragging them. And then it'd be like, you can give basic information and they still gonna ask. They're going to ask a question that you just answered in basic fucking information. And that's what I have a problem with. It's like, you can't fucking comprehend. You don't have common sense.
Well, that's sometimes where those long policies come in. You got to take the time to read it, because the question that you're asking could be in that long policy. The answer could be in that long policy. And if you just took the little bit of extra time to read it, you wouldn't have to ask these questions.
Yeah. Well, all I'm gonna say is, with a name like Perfectionist, because that was a stylist name, baby, you gotta come with it.
You gotta come with it, but all her information is probably there.
Perfectionist, elite, precision. None of that shit is in your name if you're not busting shit down every time.
Real.
You gotta
And
come
then,
correct.
I almost kind of don't be feeling bad for y'all when y'all don't be reading. I be like, that's exactly why they fucked you over. That's
true.
exactly why you gotta fuck.
Y'all
over.
ever seen that trend where it's like, when you didn't read the booking policy and you didn't realize like an ass whooping was included or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Yes.
When you didn't read the booking policy, so you didn't know you booked the ass whooping, or say it was something like that. It was hella
and if
funny.
it was something like that, he gonna always stand ready. He always ready. Donald always
It's
ready.
like,
He ain't got to get
come
ready.
on
That shit is
now,
crazy.
like, why do y'all not read? It's like common sense will tell you. Like, if it says all hair included, including all boho, including boho styles, then you should know I don't have to bring no boho hair.
Yeah. Well, Perfectionist, this is just a learning experience for you. We take it, we move on. Like I said, how we talk to clients, especially over text. I mean, if you know over text you getting a little iffy, I would just pick up the phone and have a phone call. It didn't really seem like the client was coming at you any type of way, because even like she said, I could have came at you sideways.
Yeah.
So I hope the client gets a portion of her money back, disputes the payment, something. We didn't really get a resolution, but she said she was going to take it to further matters. So
Yeah, I wonder what the solution was.
And
on that
I'm
one.
gonna say this: keep it at one part. Y'all don't need 3 parts. Y'all don't need 3 parts.
But I thought you said you need all the details.
I need details, but I need details.
Straight to the point
straight to the
details.
point
Yeah.
details.
And you're like that too. You hate when people drag their stories. You be
do.
like, get to the point. This girl will answer the phone and somebody will be like saying something and you don't see her, but she be like, what do you want? Like, get to it.
No,
so
I
get
hate
to the
when they be
point.
like,
I get that.
Hey, what?
Yeah, I get that. Get to the point. I'm not a long drawn out conversation type of person. So please
It's either
get to
I'm
the
gonna
point.
say yes or no,
Yeah, straight up.
and it's most likely probably no.
Oh God.
All right, our last story time. We're going all the way to Toronto, y'all.
Let's get it, Canada.
This one is actually crazy. So I'm scrolling looking for hair stories to react to. This story time seems so dragged out. I was watching it in 2 times speed, agitated, right? But it's funny because when I sent it to Mo was like, oh, this is boring. I said, bitch, wait till you get to the end, y'all.
Okay, now that a couple hours have passed and I have come to terms with what has happened to me, I am ready to share a story time about why I went to a hair appointment earlier today to get box braids and I came back with my hair looking like this. Okay, so I woke up early this morning and I washed my hair, blow dried it, got it all prepped and ready for my appointment at 3 p.m. I got to my hair lady's house before 3 p.m. So a little bit early, but actually before I tell you about when I got there, let me tell you that this morning I messaged her. So this morning I sent her a picture of the extensions I bought, one of the packages, and I said, hey, I got 3 of these packages. Let me know if this is like enough or if I should stop on the way to get some more. She doesn't answer. She doesn't actually even read it. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I still have the appointment. I've already sent a deposit. I'm still gonna go. Like, it doesn't matter. If anything, there's a hair store close by. I'll just get some if I need more. And so fast forward, I get to her building and I'm there maybe like 10 minutes early. So I like wait a little bit because I'm like, I don't want to be too early. So I wait a bit and then I try buzzing her once. She doesn't answer. I wait a couple minutes and then I try buzzing her again. It goes straight to voicemail. So then I message her and I say, hey, I'm downstairs and I'm trying to buzz you in. I'm trying to get buzzed in, but it's not, like, it's going straight to voicemail. She doesn't read it. So at this point, I'm like, okay, it's 3 p.m. and like the appointment's, I'm now going to be late to appointment I was early for because you're not answering me. So someone is leaving the building. So I go inside and I go upstairs to her unit. and I knock on the door. Her son opens the door. And I know this is her son because I've had her do my hair before, and like he had come home during my appointment. So I know that like she introduced this person to me as her son. Her son looks like a teenager. He opens the door and he doesn't say anything. So I'm just like, hey, like I'm here for my hair appointment with your mom. I look past him through the door and I see like a couple people sitting on a couch. So I'm like checking the time, like it's 3 p.m. Like, why are there people in the house if like I'm obviously going to be getting my hair braided? So a lady on one of the couches in the back says, come inside. And I go, okay. I walk in. I kick off my shoes. I still have my jacket on. I'm literally walking in with a pink chlore bag with my extensions. They go, you can sit over there. They point to the couch. I go and sit. I want to say there's about 10 people in this house. 10. And none of these people is my hair lady. So it's silent. It's awkward. I'm like, what the hell is going on right now? What is going on? And no one's talking. And then the same lady that told me to come inside goes, so you were supposed to have an appointment today? And I'm like, yes, Saturday at 3 p.m. Now I'm starting to question, like, am I crazy? Like, what is going on in here? She goes, well, she's dead. What? She's dead. She passed away. Tuesday or Wednesday, she passed away in her sleep. I have never been so shook in my life. I've experienced a lot, but never this. Never anything like this. I'm sitting in my hair lady's house with her family. I don't know if they were just mourning. I come in, kick off my little Uggs, and sit down on the couch for them to sit me down and say, your hair lady has passed away. She is dead. So she's dead. I don't even know what to do. So I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, that's literally how I sounded because I was astounded. I didn't even know how to react. I'm like, I am so sorry. Like, I'm sorry for your loss. They're looking at me and they're like, yeah, she's gone. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And then I'm just like, no one's saying anything at this point. I'm still sitting down. No one is saying anything. Everyone's just looking at me. And I giggled. I went, okay, well, I'm just gonna go. I picked up my pink chlore bag, put on my Uggs, and walked out. Yeah. So that's why I spent all this time this morning getting ready to do my hair, only to come back and it's actually still like how I left the house with it. So I'm processing this. It's actually a traumatizing experience. I just want to say to tell your braiders that you love them more often, I guess, because in an instant you could be sitting down in their living room and their family's telling you that they passed away. I'm so traumatized. Please keep me in your prayers.
This client booked a braider who she's been to before, shows up to her appointment. She came, washed, prepped, blow dried, everything. She texting the stylist, no response.
Honestly, y'all, I thought it was gonna be either a no call, no show.
Don't spill it.
No, y'all, I'm saying I thought it was gonna be like a no call, no show type of thing, but y'all.
So she gets there. She's trying to get buzzed into the gate. The stylist is not responding. So luckily somebody was coming out. She came in.
The stylist's son.
The stylist's son opened the door. She knocks on the stylist's door. The son opens the door. Didn't say nothing though. So she walks in, she looking beyond the sun, sees a bunch of people sitting on the couch. So she's already a little weary. She's already a little weary. Okay. She walks in, kicks her shoes off, and sits in a chair, waiting for her hair appointment. It's quiet, y'all. It's quiet in there. One of the people that's sitting on the couch, first of all, I wouldn't have walked in because I thought she was finna get robbed. I'm not walking in no house full of people. I don't see my stylist and just the son answering, don't say nothing. This could be a hostile situation.
But what if she in the bag getting ready, putting some clothes on?
Y'all, she's sitting in a chair.
Shower.
Somebody says to her, oh, you had an appointment today? You were supposed to have an appointment today? So she's like, yeah. Like, y'all, why they tell her, oh, she died.
Up and died.
I'm so sorry. In her sleep 2 to 3 days ago.
And you going to hell because why is you laughing?
Listen, when I tell y'all my mouth hit the floor so hard, but I laughed so hard, and that is so wrong. That is so wrong. But I was gagged. Like, you're not finna invite me into y'all family kumbaya session to tell me that my stylist is dead. But hell no.
Okay, look, the son opened the door. She at the door. What was they supposed to say? Oh, she dead. You got to come another day. Like,
nah, man.
What was they supposed to do? They brought her in and tried to tell her gently.
Me personally, if I passed away in my sleep and I had a point, I would want somebody to sit my client down and tell them.
No, somebody got the password to that phone. You send a text message right now. The stylist is unavailable. Unfortunately, the Lord called her home, and your stylist
I'm like,
canceled.
nobody,
because you got my password.
Like
my password is your password.
Like if someone Bree was doing hair at her house and she had a client, she upped and gone, left us. I'm gonna sit them down and I'm gonna tell them. I'm not just gonna be like, oh, she just died.
Nah.
Like that's just not caring at all.
But you're gonna invite them into the suite down or have them sit down thinking you finna get a bust down middle part?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Now, if this person was, but her partner, she been there before, cool. So she might have really been close to the family. No, cool.
She was
cool. But at the same time, no, baby. Please don't.
She had been there before because baby, you just don't come in nobody's house and kick up off of your shoes.
Yeah, but I think that's
you was comfortable enough to be set down and talked to.
Yeah, I just think that's a very touchy subject though. Like, whether you cool or not, like, you inviting all the clients. How many clients did she have that day? So did y'all invite everybody in that day and sit them down and have a therapy moment and tell them that she didn't croak?
Yo, I'm still stuck at dead.
I'm still stuck at dead.
Because, excuse me, it's like, how do you receive that? But she said she had been to her one time before, so maybe they weren't like super close. But like, I just would be taken aback. I would be taken aback. Like,
I ain't doing
it. So the client, she's like, okay, like, well, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm gonna head out. And she said it took her a couple hours because she was still just like flabbergasted.
Yes, I would have been flabbergasted as hell too. Because no, please don't invite me. I am sorry for your loss. My condolences to you and all that. But me, I know I don't do well with death like that. So I wouldn't really know how to respond. And whatever response I gave you, if y'all didn't like it, then I'm going to get jumped.
Monique, what was you gonna do? What response was you gonna give that would require a jumping?
I don't know, because I'm not.
I would have texted the stylist phone like, bitch, you died before my appointment. That's fucked up.
I'm sympathetic. Don't get me wrong. I know I just said I'm not sympathetic. I am, but it's just kind of like I would be like, oh shit.
No, because I need my hair done.
What happened?
To wake up.
No, but like, I'm not gonna lie. If you doing my hair, I most likely really fuck with you and we got a relationship. So bitch, I want somebody to sit me down and tell me, because I might be over here in tears.
Donald, if you ever die before my hair appointment, like, you couldn't do that on Friday, bitch. You knew my shit was on Tuesday.
Well,
no.
Bitch, I didn't know the Lord was gonna call me home.
No.
I would have preferred somebody send me a text message to let me know.
Me too.
Yeah.
But maybe they didn't know she had appointments that day.
No, they knew she had appointments that day. They knew that she was a hairstylist.
Yeah,
how you know
that's
how
a good
she
way?
went?
Because they said she died in her sleep. Yes, rest in peace.
But still, no, baby. I would be like,
y'all, that story really threw me for a loop.
Yeah,
it really did, because I was reading the comments
one.
as I was watching it, and I still couldn't get it. I don't know why I wasn't comprehending. But
because it's like
nobody was saying it in the comments.
Somebody did, but they used the dead emoji, the skeleton.
Oh, because you can't really say those type of words on TikTok.
On the TikTok.
And I'm just like, okay, let me keep watching. I'm thinking she finna say like, oh, she flaked or she didn't come. She was high. She was in there asleep. She was getting in the back, getting cracked.
Bad, because I definitely wasn't expecting that when she said, y'all, so I came in like this and I left like this. I'm thinking it's going to be a fight. It's going to be
me too. And
something.
the way she set the story up, because when she talked about like people sitting in there and they quiet and just looking, like I personally wouldn't have walked into that situation. I would have been like, well, you know, is Monique here? Because
is this an intervention? What's going on here?
Yeah, like
that's the street smarts.
Like, I'm automatically thinking it's gonna be like, oh my God, unprofessional, ghetto. I just already knew, because every time it's a client horror story on TikTok, y'all, it's always unprofessional, ghetto. So it's like I already know the points that I'm prepared to hear what they got to say. When she said dead, I was like, huh?
I had to rewind it a few times. Like, did they really say that?
On. You mean dead, like casket ready dead? Like, what type
that
of
was
dead
sad,
is you
y'all.
saying?
Yeah,
no, that was
real
sad. That was sad.
Yeah. Rest in peace to the hairstylist. I always feel so bad when people pass and they have younger children. So definitely rest in peace to her. That story time threw me for a loop though, because I was like, this is not like nothing we've heard before. I was like,
and I'm not even gonna lie, I probably would be mad at the Lord for calling me home, because I had money come in. That was a good
all money ain't good money though,
depending on what style you was getting.
No, for
and she
real.
seemed like she didn't have no complaints, no nothing like that. So I'm just like, damn, God, you couldn't even let me make this last $200-300.
He wanted
what
her.
good was that gonna do you, Donald? If God would have waited a week, what good was that $2-3 gonna do you?
Shit,
a crab boil?
Probably so. Something.
A new shirt.
At least I knew I had it. At least I know I wasn't gonna die without no money.
R.I.P. to you, girl. Hopefully your family doing all right. If y'all see this.
That's our last one. If you guys enjoyed this episode, let us know. Like I said, if you guys have videos y'all want us to react to, it's always gonna be new videos, or maybe might need to switch the panel up. Get rid of these two bozos and
nah, we the best.
Nah,
you already know.
I feel like we're like the perfect balance. It's great.
Absolutely.
It's great.
You're definitely a mix between the two.
Yeah.
You're
Damn,
definitely,
I'm a little YN.
You a little YN a little bit sometimes. I mean, but it's cool because that's your target people.
Yeah.
That's your target crowd for sure.
Donald, he ain't a mix.
Hell no.
I'm definitely like the bad cop.
Donald is definitely the bad cop. Okay.
If you want to choose violence, call me. If you wanna choose the right thing to do, call them too. Me, I'm here for I got a bag and I'm ready to go at all times.
You the bad angel, the good angel, the bad angel. Mm-hmm. You the devil every time, period.
He's the devil, y'all.
All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure you guys follow the podcast at Dear Modern Stylist. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and visually on YouTube. As always, I appreciate you guys for your support, and we'll catch you guys in our next episode.
Bye, y'all.